Perfect Square by Michael Hall, with additional inspiration by the children of Grace Presbyterian Church. It was a perfect square. It had 4 matching corners and 4 equal sides. And it was perfectly happy.
But on Monday, the square was cut into pieces and poked full of holes. It wasn't perfectly square anymore. So it made itself into a fountain that babbled and giggled and clapped.
On Tuesday, the square was torn into scraps. So it made itself into a garden.
On Wednesday, the square was shredded in strips. So it made itself into a park.
On Thursday, the square was shattered. So it made itself into a bridge.
On Friday, the square was snipped into ribbons. So it made itself into a river.
On Saturday, the square was crumpled and ripped and wrinkled. So it made itself into a mountain.
On Sunday, the square waited to see what was next. It waited and waited. Nothing happened. Its 4 equal sides were confining. Its 4 matching corners were rigid and cramped.
So it made itself into a window
that looked out on a mountain
that gave birth to a river
that was crossed by a bridge
that led to a park.
It was home to a garden
that had at its center a fountain that babbled and giggled and clapped.
A square can be so many things once it is broken open. On the next Sunday, the square waited to see what was next. It waited and waited. Nothing happened. Its 4 equal sides were confining. Its 4 matching corners were rigid and cramped.
So it made itself into a stained glass window.
It looked out over a meadow.
Where the sun warmed the earth.
Inviting the flowers to bloom.
Welcoming life.
Fruit of the earth.
And offering a safe place for God's creations that walk or creep.
Or fly.
while nearby the sails of the ships caught the wind and rode the waves.
And all of it was a gift given by God for all God's people.
Imaginative God, we give you thanks for the gift of life, for the gift of change, for the gift of growing into the persons you intend us to be.
When the world tries to confine us, to define us, to force us into rigid, cramped squares, you break us out.
You imagine endless, imperfect possibilities. Changing our sadness into hope. Including questions in our faith. Creating something from nothing. Adapting to loss and hurt. Loving foolishly, loving with abandon.
Creative God, you invite us to open the window and look out upon a world made new, a world in which we are your partners. For only in partnering with you are we able to imagine, change, include, create, adapt, love,